On these rocks, we will build our church.
We're Harold and Jane Beck, and we've been at Second since 1987, so that's about 35 years.
Half of our lives.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about Second, whenever we first came, was the friendships that we made.
And I believe it was maybe the first Sunday we were there. There was a couple that were probably about our age, maybe a little older than we are right now, the Westers. And they were just wonderful people. And they took us out to lunch. The fact that someone really out of our age range thought it important enough to give us a little bit of hospitality, I think that was a big deal for me.
I think multi-generational ministry is important, partly because we grew up in a church where there were all generations. And we saw the benefit to having older people who invested in us, and it just went down through the ages. And now Harold is teaching one of the older classes in church. And for me, I think meeting with these younger people, it closes the gap, I guess, a little bit between the people in our class as well as meeting some young people that are close to our kids' age. So it's investing in them, and all through the years we've had a chance to invest in singles for many years. And that's always been a blessing. And all it takes is just, the gardener sat in front of us one Sunday, we asked him out to lunch. But 2 weeks ago, this other couple was there, walked across and said hello, and introduced them to the gardeners, took them out to lunch. So, and I think maybe those four will get together, And it's the easy thing to do, we're so apt to just sit back and not make the effort when you see some new people. But there's new people up in the balcony all the time. That's the multi-generational thing. It needs to be a family.
When Second made the decision all those years ago to relocate from Oak Grove to the Battlefield location, the thing that I remember most, and it was very impressive to me, was a huge support for it to happen. It was like one mind that this is God's leadership, this is what we need to do. There was just an excitement to see what God was going to be doing on a new piece of property here. And it was a little thing, but I think it was something that helped everybody be invested. When we cleared the land, this being the Ozarks, there were rocks everywhere. And so we had a day or two where we just went out and picked up rocks, They were just good times. They were exciting times.
I think Harold and I were too young to be anxious over it. Maybe some of the older people were, over the money part, but
we were young and dumb, maybe, but we had premonitions that the Lord was going to provide, and that's what He did. It was well thought out and well staged, the way it progressed, and I never felt like the church was getting into more than it was able to deal with. We had wise fiscal leadership, and that was a good thing. As we think about what we're about to enter into, a remodeling program, my hope is I see these new folks, these younger folks coming in, that He will use that to again bring into people's lives these opportunities. A building isn't the church, it's the people who are the church. And this is simply a place that facilitates the people of God to come together to hear from Him and to come under His direction on how we are to go out. We are not to stay in a facility. Our ministry is outside. And so it's not a place to come and stay. It's a place to come, be encouraged, be disciplined, be trained, be discipled, and then go out and share the gospel with people that don't know Jesus. You just see how the Lord starts at one point, but that one point can have such a far reach.
As I've grown older, I've realized that things of this world don't matter. It's souls that need to be won to the Lord, and I feel like that whatever our church decides to do, that will be the goal and the purpose. The heart of our church has always been to spread the gospel in whatever way they could.